And it's, you know, as a tournament fisherman, we all know it can be crazy frustrating when you've worked hard all week practicing, you found a decent bunch of fish, and then, you know, somebody follows you around with you know, we call it the bent rod pattern, right? Wherever we see somebody catch one, we'll, you know, slide in there. People will slide in and try to, you know, catch your fish. Oh, there's another big largemouth right there. I don't know if you guys can see that fish. Hang on. That is a duker right there, you guys. Yep, see him? It's going off. Oh man. Why didn't he bite my chatterbait? I rolled it right over the top of him. But anyways, what I was saying, so I know it's so easy to just want to be, you know, spoon-fed information, and, you know, but man, I can just tell you from my past experiences, you know, time on the water and figuring it out, you know, because if you're, you know, let's just say a buddy of yours gives you some information on a Tuesday from practice, and, you know, you may have one or two weather patterns that come in after that. So it's very, very hard to predict, you know, exactly what these fish are going to be doing and when and where. Man, I've just learned, honestly, my best tournament finishes, to be honest with you, have come from just getting out there and seeing what the lake has to offer. Almost just, you know, every once in a while we'll have them, you know, figured out, and we can dial them in, and they, you know, we go back and they're there. But man, most days it kind of feels new and fresh, and, you know, you just got to fight the urge to be spoon-fed. You know, it's human nature to take the easy road. But man, it does not pay off long term in this sport. I guess I'm talking to younger kids now, you high school and, you know, college age young men and women. I mean, it just doesn't, you know, and I'll have them call me for information about, you know, a lake or whatever, and you know, I'm a little bit hesitant to be honest when that happens, because I want them to learn. You know, I want them to put the time in, just like I had to. You know, if you really, you know, if you really talk to some of the top pros in professional fishing, they don't shortcut this deal. They do not shortcut their time on the water. I have quite a few friends that are, you know, fish the elites and fish, you know, MLF and that, and I'll tell you, they're the one thing they have is they have a dedication and a work ethic that's second to none. And, you know, yeah, a little bit of knowledge or a little bit of information for them sometimes can actually hurt them, you know, because they're such good fishermen. They have a systematic approach to finding fish and on unfamiliar bodies of water, you know. So, you know, that whole thing of getting information, I know there's a lot of opinions out there, and I'm certainly not saying I'm right, but this is just how I see it. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say I've never gotten information. Oh, I just got bit. Here I'm jabbering away in. You know, I'm not going to say I've never had information that I used in a tournament, because that would not be honest. I have. You know, I have a small network of people I work with. But even so, I mean, at the end of the day, it rarely helps. Really, it rarely helps me. A lot of times it confuses me. And, you know, and the other aspect to this too is, you know, everybody fishes a little different too. So a lot of times, you know, you take a guy like Kevin Van Dam, you know, who's it's just, he's a wide open throttle type of guy, and even when he's finesse fishing, there's a speed element even to his finesse fishing. Whereas you take, you know, some other guys that are more methodical and slower, they'll get in an area, and their mindset is, you know, if they're convinced they've found where some fish are, you know, they'll hunker down and try to learn as much as they can about that specific area. Whereas another guy's like, listen, I'm not trying to be friends with these fish. I'm just going to try to catch the you know, the biters. So it's just, a lot of times it's personality of the fisherman. you know, a lot of times if you look at the tournaments that the top 10 or whatever, and you find out it was a tournament where a lot of guys used moving baits, they moved around a lot and stuff. Well, there's certain guys that, you know, in the professional ranks that are going to do good at those just because that's how they fish, right? And then you get guys where they're more of a finesse type fisherman, slower, more methodical, milk the area. You know, they don't run when they're, you know, if they don't get a bite in a half hour, they're not going, okay, I got to run. They're saying, hey, I got to adjust in this same area. The fish are here, I've got to adjust. So, you know, it's there's a lot to it. But anyways, so make a long story short, that's kind of my heart, is to teach people. If you can glean some information from me, that would be awesome. You know, it's very rewarding to go out and try some things that you've learned. I mean, when I was growing up in the tournament thing, I didn't have YouTube, and you know, didn't have all these things that can help us compile information to make, you know, good assessments of what to do, where to go. So, you know, take advantage of it. You know, a guy that has, you know, 20 plus years of experience, they're an encyclopedia of information of what to do and what not to do. So, and I have a lot of what not to do. But anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at, kind of my heart about the channel. And we're going to be doing a lot of different stuff, but you know, bass, largemouth and smallmouth have always had a special place in my heart. I tend to be a little more of a faster fisherman, more of a you know, I like covering water. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just taking this chatterbait, and you can see there's some lay downs, and I'm just moving. I'm just moving down this shallow bank and trying to get a bite. This time of year, to me, I feel like you got to move until you get a bite, and then maybe slow down. But I'm just rolling, and this is more of a technique I love right here, is just moving and getting bites. Oh man, I just had another bite. What's the dealio? Huh. Here I am jibber jabbering again and get a bite. He doesn't hold on to it. All right, well, I'm gonna get back to fishing here and see if I can't pay attention and get a couple bites. There's one. Oh, that feels like a good one. Oh yeah. Cool. All right. So keeper on the chatterbait. All right, little man. There we go. GoPro, stop recording.